Good morning, everyone. It's August 16th, 2021. I'm Elwin, and today we're going to be going over a lesson I titled Don't Skip Steps. So we're talking about the, the business, the creative process, the process to becoming a successful trader. And we're going to talk about why you don't skip steps, the implications of skipping those steps, and the right way, how we're supposed to do this thing. Okay. So yeah, let's just jump right in. Um, I've talked about this week after week, how we can't take any shortcuts, and how I've personally taken shortcuts in other areas of my life, other business, um, get rich quick schemes, things I try to do. And basically it just never worked out. And obviously, like music and creative things, I really sat down and take my time with. But as far as just like a pure money making, I won't call it a scam or scheme, but just money making method, right? With Forex, a way to essentially just make money. This is the first thing I really just sat down with and didn't give up on. And maybe I attempted to skip steps, but it brought me right back to where I was and having to do things the right way. Because every time I try to skip a step in this business, I get humbled. I get pushed back to that that battle, that trade demon, whatever it was that I was facing that I was trying to avoid. I can't run from it. And basically what I learned is I'm trying to run from myself. So that's that profound moment. You run it for yourself when you're trying to skip steps in this business, and anything you want to have a solid foundation in, right? So sorry, in trading, it's important that you get the full experience. Um, I know early on we're mixed up on what we even think trading is. I remember I used to think just taking signals off a website that I found was basically trading. Like I didn't know that that was not trading. And just because you're at a certain place right now where that might sound ridiculous to you, just remember people are at all levels. So be proud of your level, but just remember, like, people will look at where you're at and be like, man, that's ridiculous. And they shouldn't be like that, of course, right? But I say that to say we're all at a point in our development that is important to us, right? And it's key to our development, our growth, and everyone's going to be at their own place. Um, and if you truly want to get to success, if you truly want to become a profitable, consistent trader, you have to focus on you. You have to focus on your trading and not everyone else's growth and development, not constantly comparing yourself to theirs. So, when that happens, when you see other people doing killing it or whatever, maybe your homies have profitable weeks and you're the only one that didn't, it can cause you to want to skip steps, basically, right? And what you're doing is you're coming from a place of scarcity. We talked about that. You're coming from a state of duress, right? And when you're in that state of duress, you're not going to be any good to anybody. You're not going to be good to yourself. You're going to just be essentially, acting like you're just trying to survive, like flight or how is it, fight or flight, right? Like you're essentially just in straight survival mode. And yes, survival mode is important at times, right? You in the wilderness, you in your slums, you in the hood, whatever. You got to be on survival mode. But now we're at a different level. I mean, I don't know what your personal lives look like, but when you come to this trading room, this trading floor, these chat rooms, this internet world, right? We tap into the computer and we immerse ourselves in a whole world. When we're in that world, we can't come from a place of duress because we're going to be bad at making decisions. We're going to do things that are detrimental to our trading. So most importantly is to keep our mental cool and to stay out of that state of duress and just counter it with abundance and with patience. We talked about patience last week, and I promise you, you'll be able to really lock in on those areas you need to focus on to improve, right? And if you think about it, that state of duress that you're feeling, that scarcity, really, that's just your ego, right? right? When you see that the other people are killing it and maybe you didn't have a good week or something, so now you want to break your rules or jump in some trades. That's your ego, right? That's your self-esteem. What you're trying to do is appease yourself, make yourself feel good about yourself, about your trading week. And all that trying to make yourself feel good shit, like we really do got to cut it out, guys, because it's not getting us anywhere, right? It's like you giving a baby a pacifier. We're just bigger babies with these different metaphorical pacifiers, right? And what I could tell you is the more you try to pacify yourself, the more you're gonna be in a state or basically be avoiding the things you really need to approach, right? Whether it's you need to just sit down and back test this setup you've been seeing, or whether you just really need to sit on your hands and write out this plan and stick to it. Whatever, wherever you are in your trading, we're all in different places, right? So, and that's why I always say it's going to be up to you to figure that out, right? So when you get in that state of duress, when you get in that ego state, that's where you really need to check out of what would it be, your conscious mind, and more so get into your subconscious, process that, get to the unconscious state, see what's making me tick, what am I going through, right? Start to really identify the states that you're in. That ego will really hold you back, right? So yeah, I'll kind of just keep it moving from there. If y'all got any questions, ask them in the chat. I'm just kind of going today. I didn't really have any questions for y'all, but if y'all want to chime in, you want to be unmuted, the floor is always open, okay? So just be sure you're not doing things just to make yourself feel good in the moment. If your trading plan tells you to leave the trade and give it room to breathe, and you want to move it to break even because it's going to make you calm down and feel better, those are the moments you really got to challenge yourself. You really gotta dig within, because I can tell you each time you give in to breaking your rule just to pacify yourself, I won't say that it's gonna make it that much harder to dig yourself out and stick to the plan and do what you need to do, but it will affect you in a negative way, because you're gonna form things like losing confidence, self-doubt. Like that's where these things start to come about, right? It's like you basically can't trust yourself. You can't even trust the plan that you are putting together. So that's why it's so important to a lot of times just let it ride, stick to the plan. If you get stopped out, you get stopped out. Trust me, I've been in a state, and I've had times where I keep sweating the trade, enter with like the tight 2-3 pip stop loss, get stopped out, enter. I found myself entering the same trade like 6 times in one night, guys, like just straight basket cases, like insanity. I don't know if y'all ever went through that, but that shit is essentially, it's like maddening, man. And like, there's no way to trade. And, all you had to do was set the trade, leave it with 10 pips and go away, but you probably kept messing with it. And then you came back the next day and it did what you wanted it to do. And then you start beating up on yourself. You start losing confidence, not trusting yourself, all of that, right? So that's why it's so important to just stick to what you're doing, come in with a plan, execute, have faith in yourself. If the game plan doesn't work, you re-strategize for the next game or the next week or the next month, whatever your sample size that you're using. Mike V says, I think Brandon said, every time you feel like adjusting stop loss, drop down and do 15 push-ups and then think again. Yeah, I like that. Or like, it's not like a complete parallel, but what I've told people and what I've been told is like, if you're a worrier and you're stressed out about stuff, or I remember like me when I would work, like going to a regular job and stuff, and then like Friday come and then Saturday, Sunday, and then all weekend, I was just thinking about going back to work on Monday, and I never actually enjoyed the weekend. Like, it was such a sick mindset, like literally being so not in the present moment. Like I got Saturday, Sunday, Friday night, but all I'm thinking about is Monday morning, how I don't want to go into work. And there's no way to be. So one thing, like I tell myself now, or I tell other people when they're in that type of worrying psychosis or whatnot, this was a good one they told me, is worry about it later. All right. Tell yourself that, oh, I'll worry about this later. You put it off. And then every time you tell yourself you're gonna worry about it later, you start to realize that how ridiculous the worrying is, how pointless it is, how it doesn't really do anything. It doesn't help you in any way. So the same with your trading. The same goes for your trading, guys. Just take the trade, and if you're worried about being stopped out, if you think you're going to get it's going to come back on you, just worry about it later, right? Tell yourself, you know what, I'll worry about this when the trade comes back, right? So it's almost an oxymoron in a sense, but it's a head game that you play with yourself. Pause, I already know. It's a head game that you play with yourself in order for you to come into the game with a proper mindset, right? And I see we got Neo in here. We got Jonah in here. What's up, guys? Neo, did you want to jump in, brother? Or did he already disappear? Hey, mate, what's up?
How you doing?
I thought you did it. How you doing today, bro?
All right. Been a long time since I've been on one of your Zooms. Long
I
time.
was shocked to see you. The roles have reversed. I've been studying your materials now, so you know how it goes.
Yes. Yes. Pushing the barriers, as they say, pushing the barriers.
Oh yeah.
No one else will go to, but
but yeah, today we're just talking about basically sticking to the whole process, not skipping steps. Like we're all so tempted to do it in whatever it is, but we basically my conclusion was basically you're gonna run into that thing you're trying to avoid. It's no way around it, and usually it's just it's something within yourself. So it might be like a deep character flaw, or like something where you're impatient. These things we work on, and in trying to skip steps, what you're basically doing is running from yourself, and you can't escape yourself. So that's kind of the conclusion I came to. Did you have anything you wanted to chime in or add to the topic, brother?
Yeah, I was just reading a message somebody put up about being afraid with their take profits. Is that right? Adjusting stop losses. Every time you feel like adjusting the stop loss, no, that's the worst. I used to do that. I used to think, oh, I put my stop loss in, and then the trade will keep going into my drawdown, and I'll keep adjusting the stop loss. I think you just on the hoping that it might turn around and at least get me out of break even. But no, I think that's the worst thing you can do. If you're happy with your analysis, if it's a loss, doesn't matter. You've done your best, and you've kept everything that you thought would happen. But unfortunately, sometimes it doesn't. But adjusting stop losses is a no-no for me anyway.
What about the other way, moving it too soon into profit or break even?
Yeah, well, do you know how I understood how to take my profits? And taking my profits is finding the liquidity in the charts. And it's easier than you think. And all that is finding your equal highs, equal lows. That's my take profits. And 9 times out of 10, it will hit it. Sometimes I manually get out of my trades, but price will always follow liquidity, always. And liquidity is equal highs, equal lows. So if you're trading up on Euro USD and you see equal highs around about 80 pips away, that should be your target. Too many people put trades on and they see it reverse straight away, and they basically shit themselves, excuse my French, and get out the trade. And then you find out the next day the trade actually hit your take profit, equal highs that you predicted. So you just got to be confident in your trades. That's all it is. And not enough people as well, and I know this. You know, I've trained quite a number of people now. Not enough people look at the weekly, daily, 4 hour. They're straight into very low time frames. You know, I don't understand how anyone can't see higher time frames. It is so important, and also that gives you brilliant directional bias as well. Obviously, we go down lower time frames, you know, to execute your trades, but you should always go weekly, daily, 4 hour. That's my pattern. Might be different.
I think it goes back to the topic, brother, of skipping steps, right? And
Absolutely.
we told people that, but a lot of times it's like, well, daily is nice, but can I take a trade? I see a ECR on a 5 minute. So, you know, they just think that immediate. And then for me, like I would get, excuse my French, fucked over so many times doing that. And I wanted to understand why it kept happening. And eventually, like, and that's what I said, like, I try to skip the steps too. And then I get into a point where I'm fed up and I'm like, you know what? There isn't a shortcut. Every time I found myself saying, oh, trading is easy. All I got to do is this. No, trading is not easy. Trading is simple, like we say. And it's not all I got to do is this. It's trading is simple. I stick to my plan. I stick to this. I stick to this. There is no all I got to do. That's that hurry up, skip step mentality.
Yeah, absolutely. Unfortunately, this game, you have to have patience. And I think that's a lot of people's weaknesses is patience. They can't look at higher time frames. They won't wait for price to hit a certain price, if you like, but they'll go straight into 5 minute, 1 minute, 3 minute, whatever it is, and place that trade. You know, I'm very strict with my trading. And if it doesn't hit my criteria, I just don't take it. You know, I've had one trade today. It hit all my criteria. It's been very slow today. And you know what? I waited and waited and waited. It hit 7% today. So just one trade, that is. You know, just it's all about just sitting and waiting and being patient. But there's no excuse, because the way I see it is, if you're watching higher time frames, there is no excuse if you have trading view to put an alarm on so it dings your phone. So if you're out and about, you know, you can get back to your computer or station, whatever, and you can get ready for that trade. You know what I mean? So there's kind of no excuse really. But some people just don't follow their trading plan. And once you start skipping that, as I found out when I was £30,000 down, you get stung. It just ain't worth it. It ain't worth it. Not in my opinion, anyway.
Yeah, and I will say, like, me and you, especially you, like I'm there, like, you know, you're in the chat and you see how I come up with these trade ideas so rapidly now with objective, and maybe, you know, some of them are wrong, but there's like an objective criteria, an objective price level, things that I'm seeing. And just that objectivity into my trading, which I see in like me, you, and a lot of the masters, is that it's just that we really like spent the time with our setup, but we really made it like a systematic thing with rules. And then you just do it so much and you back test it so much and you kind of tweak it, you find what you need and what you don't need. But then you can get to the point where you can come up with trade ideas damn near every day, every week. And that's where the beauty comes in, is when you can start easily forming trade ideas. And it's something that's just amazing, guys. And once you get there, you're gonna just feel so like free, like, man, I can feed myself, and there's less of this. I hope this will happen. I wonder if this, I feel this gonna reverse. None of that feel. It's just, I saw my setup, I take it. Oops, I was wrong. Oops, I was wrong. Oops, right, wrong. Oop, oop, oop. Let's readjust.
Yeah, it is the best feeling ever, because once you are consistent, when you jump on your computer, you have no fear at all. So if you do have losses, it just doesn't mean anything at all, because you know if you're consistent, you will get that loss back and more. You know, last week I lost 4 on the bounce, 4 trades, 4% down, because I trade 1%. And my next trade, I got 55%. So I wiped out the 4% and got 55% because, you know, that's just trading, you know, it is what it is.
And that's why it's important to have your risk managed, not be doing stuff like moving your stop loss, because then you're risking over 1%. Like, what's that 55 not going to hit like that? And yeah, it's just like you're a living testament. You just said what you got stopped out 4 times and lost 4%.
Yeah,
and I think a lot of people don't want to lose. It feels like a pain to them.
Yeah, I didn't lose my cool. You know, I worked like a robot. That's the right word. And I won't change my trading plan for anything or anyone because I believe in it, because it's been consistent for me. But I knew the win was going to come. It's just a matter of time. And then obviously it happened. But I was very unlucky. You know, my stop loss was just way too tight. You know, my stop loss is like 2 or 3 pips. But, you know.
But that's also allows you to not over leverage, but use a big leverage.
Big leverage, yeah. And when they do hit, you know, it's brilliant, you know.
Do you ever be like, you see something and you could have just gave it like 7 or 10 pips and you're like, oh, like, why am I smothering the trade? Or you're just like, oh, it went 2 pips down. This candle is invalidated. So you don't even see it like that, because that 2 pips is what you needed to know if you're right or wrong.
Yeah, I'll be honest, my losses were towards the end of New York session, which is a bit of a no-no for me. I liked my trades in UK time between 10 in the morning till about 2:30, 3 o'clock. That's when I feel where the moves are, where the liquidity is. But
in general, do you ever feel like you need to give it more room?
Yeah. Because yes, you're probably right. But I like pushing the boundaries. You know, I like
I love it, bro.
taking things apart and thinking, right, okay, this will get 2.5 pips stop loss, no problem. You know, and it does work. But sometimes spread can take you out. It is what it is.
Right, and then you look back and you're like, it went a bunch of pips.
Yeah,
you know, I should have. But that's where you have to be very careful with your mindset and the self-talk.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, but you know, my 55% trade was a 3 pip stop loss. So it was lucky, I suppose, because spread could have took me out on it. But everything just clicked into place perfectly fine. But you know, the other losses, I just didn't care because I knew I'd get it back. I knew it. You just have to trust and believe in yourself. But all those losses did go the way they were supposed to. But it just must be that particular time that either spreads took me out, or it's just unfortunate that price just budged up a little bit and went the way I wanted it to. Well, you can't have it all, can you? You know.
Nope. You
Anyone
can't.
that says they
you
get
have to be a
100%.
give and take. And I mean, part of your giving is that you got to be sitting there for hours, you know, when you're watching the move, but it's worth it, right?
Oh, so. Yeah. I mean, I'll be honest, I base all my analysis on the higher time frame, and I put an alarm on TradingView and it will ping my phone. And that's when I go to my station. If I have to sit there for 3 hours, you know, watch it play out, that's what I'll do. So, but you know, sometimes it won't activate, and I can go out for the day. So, it's, you know, swings and roundabouts, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. You know, that's why I've been big in my pending system. You know, like me and Emmy kind of been doing, but like you said, there's give and take to that. Like so many, you've seen, like, I'm like, oh, it didn't activate me by half a pip and did this. But at the same time, it's like, I didn't have to sit there and watch for 3 hours, but then you know, so everything gonna have this give and take, like you're saying. It's the same as like using that tight stop loss. It's like what gives you that power to use a bigger lot size and still risk 1%. You know, that is the give and take right there. So
yeah. Absolutely. People have seen my lot sizes are, oh my God, Jesus. but it's only 1% of your account. So
Mhm.
it doesn't matter if you have £1,000 or £100,000 in your account. It's still 1%.
And some
You know?
people, like good traders, like Jonah's in here, he used 20 pip stop loss on pound sometime. He's a dope trader. But for you,
Yeah.
if you use 2 pip stop loss, your 1% will be 10 times his 1%. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
yeah, but maybe, you know, you might get stopped out more or whatever. So, but that's just part of it. But I think it's really cool the way you approach it, because it's like you push it to the limits, you know, and
Mm.
like you can, it's just super dope, bro. Like that's all I'll say. I don't have any
Oh.
articulate way to put it, but super dope.
I don't like stuff beating me. I hate it. So especially the market maker, you know, and some days you know, I have losing days, and it, you know, but the way I see it is I just lending him the money for the day, and then I go and get it back the next day. So with
Yeah, the way I
interest,
look at it is like these are just, you're entering into lotto. I know we're not gambling, but your that 1% is just your entry fee. Like you might
yeah,
lose it. Like if you buy a lotto ticket, you don't cry if you lose the lotto. You're like, oh my God, it didn't hit. It's like, no, you're playing lotto. And I say
mm,
that to say like this is not gambling, but this is still chance and probability. So, you know, that whole Mark
yeah,
Douglas thing, changing from wins and losses to a mindset of probability. And you just think of like, you know, 1% is going to get me in this trade. It's
mm,
my golden ticket to enter. It could get me stopped out. I lose 1%. It can go 10,000%. I don't
yeah,
know, but this is my limited risk. I know it's not going to go negative 10,000. It's not going to go negative 2. I know what my risk is, and just that mindset has really helped me for sure.
yeah, absolutely.
We had
Also,
a
I was just
question for you, bro. Oh, sorry.
yeah,
What were you gonna say?
yeah, I was just saying about that. It's do you have a limit on times you enter a setup? Like if it takes you out once, enter again. Oof, depends. Really depends. Because when I enter trades, they usually melt straight away. So, and if they melt, not really. But if it's a slow one like a Wyckoff schematic, yes, I'll definitely re-enter. Uh, but not not if it's like some news or something, you know, because my trading strategy actually works around news. So, you know, before they release news. So, but if it's melting quite quickly, no, I never do that. No, I just wait and go on to the next one. But a Wyckoff schematic, yes, because it takes so long, you know, to kind of form out, if you like.
Right. And
So
sometimes you might just be like a little earlier. You just,
yeah, so yeah, sometimes you can get in earlier. You know, the schematic hasn't kind of panned out where you think it has, but then literally straight after, I kind of know then, right, okay, cool, just need to wait for this, this, and this. So it's cool, you know, 1%, I'll get that back in a couple of hours or something like that. So, but it just depends how quick the markets are moving. Like today, they're really slow. So yes, I would re-enter, you know, because it gives you that bit of time. But markets are moving quick. Like Friday was a really good day, a really, really good day. Everything just went, you know, the dollar dropped and Euro USD, GU, NU, all my trades just went straight into profit. And it was like, wow, this is brilliant, you know. So, but like today, it's really slow. So yeah, I would re-enter. But everyone's different, aren't they? Everyone's got their different kind of ways of trading, if you like.
yeah, I would
Uh,
say you got to have a strong mind to re-enter. Like if your trading psychology is not where you know it needs to be, or you're mentally weak that week when you're just not feeling confident, I think that's where you can maybe just chill on re-entering, because you don't want to push that fragile mindset. And especially if you're newer, like, and you're trying to set rules and be disciplined, then maybe
yeah,
you don't re-enter. But once you get to like me and Neo, get to Neo's level, and you can start to trust your intuition, have that confidence, see things live, and you start to know yourself more, when you can say, you know what, let's re-enter, or you know what, I could re-enter this. Even if it don't pan out, I'm cool with that because I see this opportunity. And you start to really see opportunities in the market, and you're seizing them, because not because you're scared of losing, but because you know your risk is managed and you see a dope opportunity. So along those lines, if you get stopped out and you're like, oh, I see that opportunity there, fuck yeah, fam, just take it. And I've talked to you in the past, Neil, when you didn't re-enter. You were like, nope, that's my rule. I don't re-enter. But you evolved over this last year, and I've seen you do it. Like, yep, I re-entered the third time. All my losses wiped out, plus 35 more percent. You know?
Yeah, it is crazy. The returns you get it's crazy. You know, if you got a really good risk to reward, you just need one of them a week on a funded account, and you're laughing. You know, but I'd sit there, you know, all week waiting for a 50% trade. I think anyone would, you know, depending on what size account you have. But yeah, it's just, I feel when you become consistent, you start really pushing yourself, you know, because you want to be even better. Yeah, not getting greedy, but you want to go that one step further. You know, always keep a step ahead of the market makers, they say.
I don't think that's in everyone though. Like, I think like not everyone is built like that, but we can be built like that.
Yes.
To just want to keep pushing ourselves. Because I know some people are like, oh, I just want to figure this out. Like, I don't got to work any harder. I don't have to learn anything else. And I can just do this, take this M on Friday when Dylan posted. Like, and you see like, and I'm just highlighting this to just show you, because when I got Neo here, I want to utilize him as like an example, and you see what he's saying is basically the complete opposite, right? He's not saying, well, I just made, you know, 30K, whatever this week, like I'm good, like I could just do this. He's like, no, I want to challenge myself. I want to push myself. Sound like Michael Jordan. Like, these guys are crazy guys, and we got to be crazy like that if we want to win. Like, so if you pick up one thing from Neo, pick up the mentality, pick up the mindset, pick up the approach to success, guys.
Yeah, you just have to keep going, you know, just keep going. Trust me, it does come. And when it does, it's brilliant. It's the best life I could ever dream for. Honestly, it's amazing. And I can only thank you and Human for that, really, you know. It's just one of the best jobs in the world. It really is. Really, really is.
Sure.
Fantastic job.
Yeah, thank you. Of course, you're welcome, but shoot, thank yourself for, you know, putting in that work and not giving up. A lot of people don't come out the other end and, you know, taking those big losses and, you know, going through it with your family can break a lot of people, or just make them like a scary ass trader. And, you know, like being scared is not gonna yield you 55% a week or more. So.
Wow. Yeah, exactly. You got to be fearless, but get consistent first, then you get fearless. But no, it's just become a robot at it. That's what I kind of do, you know, just a robot, just doing the same thing. And the markets do repeat the same thing. And someone that's not consistent probably wouldn't believe me in saying that, but they actually do. They actually repeat the same thing day in, day out. It's yeah.
Right.
It's
you just got to be looking. You got to know how to look.
Yes,
I think
exactly.
That's what we do.
Yeah.
And like, you know, Human with the whole train your golden eyes thing. That's what he's talking about. Training your eyes to see it, because it's right there. Like the daily structure, the wick off, all of that is there. The sine wave, the Fibonacci, like all of that, and whatever you pick to be your confirms or how you enter is basically all the same stuff. Especially when you're using a system where you're attempting to trade with the market maker, with the liquidity against retail like we do. And I mean, that's, like I said, that's what all of Forex here do. We all trade differently, but we all believe in the big bad boogie market maker, man. And we all find ways to get it, right? So
yeah. Absolutely. It's like I say, it's fun. It's fun when you get consistent, but it's not very nice when you aren't consistent. You just have to stick with it. Been many times where I've wanted to give up, trust me. Oh my God. Yeah. It does push you to your limits. It really does.
I've definitely lost like 20 in a row before, so.
It's soul destroying as well, you know. Soul destroying. Oh,
But then
Losing
you just
money.
get tough, man. But like
Mm.
that's one of the biggest advice is just to keep your risk managed, because like the rest you can work out in your head and you can bounce back or you can fund your account. But if you don't know how to not over leverage, how to not be blowing your accounts, it's just gonna be like that's one of just a really, really bad habit to pick up. So
Yeah.
yeah, we know this. I say this every week. So
Yeah.
all right. Did you want to add anything before we get out of here? I saw you sent me a little message.
Yeah, I just sent you the Dixie. I don't know whether you can get it up on your screen, but just a little screenshot really where I think the Dixie's going to go, because I noticed you had the Dixie up, the daily Dixie.
Yeah. Can you share your screen or not?
I'm on my phone, but I'm
Okay.
not connected via my PC, unfortunately.
Okay. Hang on. Let me just save the image and we'll share it and then we'll close it off. And we'll do analysis tomorrow.
Yeah, cool.
With Human and
stuff. I can make tomorrow. That's cool.
Okay, cool. Yeah, usually it's just like me or sometimes Human. What do I call it? I call it market watch, and we look over all the pairs or whatever people want to look at, and then we also do like Q&A. So it's really like, you know, up to the people what they want to make it. Can you see it, bro?
Yeah, I can see that. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
So you see the liquidity on the top. You've got 3 equal highs. Okay. I think price will come and snatch that liquidity and then move down the bottom where I've put the dollar signs, where the other liquidity.
Hey, Neo, you still there? I think Neo. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, there you go.
Sorry.
So you were saying you saw the liquidity pool below, so you think it'll spike to the high and then come for those lows?
Yeah, I think price is heading towards them equal highs. There's 3 equal highs, and I personally think it's going to take that liquidity out and then drop to that liquidity pool on the bottom.
Definitely.
Which kind of makes sense with Euro USD, because Euro USD is due a nice pullback to take out liquidity at the bottom too. So,
and like you always said, bro, didn't mean to do that. Anyway, yeah, like, you know, just zoom out, bro, like daily, weekly. I haven't done this today. Sorry. Get rid of sessions. Okay. Overall, you know, we've reversed at Corona or whatever. Been down. Take out support. Break out of the trend line. So this would be induction, like basically a weekly induction to buyers, right? And this was that third tap even for those support traders. So it just makes sense with the weekly. Yeah, to me, it just makes a lot of sense. Like the same stuff we look for on the daily time frame, your 4-hour maps out perfectly, like with the I guess we would call it a daily structure, of course, you know, accumulation, but it's a weekly structure. So it's just really cool to me.
Yeah, I've been keeping a close eye on the Dixie. I think we're very well, we're due a big drop on it. It's been tanking, hasn't it? Up, really. It's been really, really nice for change. Dixie was like literally on its last legs, wasn't it? But made a bit of an appearance, and I think it's due to drop again. So it looks good. Looks really good.
Yeah, we will see.
For us, anyway. I don't know about the dollar itself. For us to make some money.
That's what I love. Like, I mean, I live in the US. I don't care if the dollar loses value. Like, I'll just short the dollar, you know? So that's the beauty of Forex, guys. I think like a lot of people I talk to in different markets, whether it's stocks or cryptos, and they don't understand leverage trading or short trading, things like that. They have this mindset where they think everything just has to go up all the time. So maybe they bought their GameStop or AMC stock and they just want to keep seeing it go up. And then when it pulls that back, they freak out and they don't, you know, understand the market structure, they crumble, and it's like you're gonna be doomed going in with that type of mindset as a investor trader, because everything pulls back. Like, so
Yeah.
I think Forex teaches us to understand market structure, but also it teaches us how to seize opportunities in the market in different ways, like true traders, right? Like a lot of the guys were shorting cryptos, or perpetuals, or, you know, leverage trading crypto shorts when the whole dump was happening over the last month or so, while a lot of the other traders I knew, or wannabe investor traders, were pulling out their bags, or they had just bought Bitcoin at 60K and like now they don't know what to do and they sold it at 50. So it's basically just, you know, don't be a victim, be aware of what's going on, and don't have that herd mentality, right? And just don't feel like that FOMO, because I know a lot of people feel FOMO and they want to get in the AMCs and whatever is like the hot thing that week. You know, I know quite a few people that bought Bitcoin at 60K, or bought Dogecoin on you know, when it was like at 70 cents, you know, stuff like that.
Yeah, painful.
Mm-hmm.
Painful. I think, like you say, you just gotta be patient.
Mm-hmm. And seize opportunities. Like if you see something is dumping, and you see opportunity, take it, right? And I don't want to go too long, but like there are ways, like if you don't want to catch the falling knife, just learn how to wait for momentum. All the stuff you learn with Brandon, just apply that to any market. Like I'll just, last thing, bro, we out of here. Like, let me see if I kept my drawings. Oh, did I keep any of them? Come on, I didn't. Never mind. Oh, okay, I kept one. I kept ADA, because I was showing some of the guys how you could get into this crypto. But yeah, I think that's where I got in right there. But anyway, once it shifted out, it had a couple of times. Once this happened, I was telling people like, yeah, you know, just we have momentum, you know, maybe buy at this key level, which was 1.255, which also a 38 fib, or we got more momentum, pulls back, buy there, right? So just saying, like, you don't have to try to catch a falling knife. You could wait for momentum, but just don't be the guy that buys right here. And this happens all the time to retail. So
that's it. That's it. A new high, break a structure, keep away, wait for the pullback.
And you can like bypass all this malarkey by just waiting for bullish momentum in a retest. And yes, sometimes you'll be like, oh, bullish momentum, up, it got me. Or if you're just holding, maybe you got in here and it came back and now you're in a little bit of drawdown. And I mean, that is just part of the game, right? Neo got some smooth ways to avoid that with, you know, being a bit more patient, but, you know, it's always ways to make your trade safer. Yeah, we're going forever, bro.
Oh yeah. We'll be on that spaceship with Richard Branson soon.
Getting our Amazon Prime delivered in space, bro.
One day.
Alrighty, well, did you have anything to add, or are we done for the day?
No, I'm good. I'm closing down for the day, and I'm gonna go and enjoy some family time, I think. And then back on it tomorrow.
Yes,
I'll be back on the groups and try and get some trades. See what's available.
Beautiful. Okay, guys. Thank Neo. We appreciate the big homie stopping by, and we'll see y'all tomorrow.
See you soon.
Yep. And if y'all have questions, I know Isaac, you asked what those lines were. Hit me tomorrow. We'll go over it. Peace out.